Here's a peek at what guests had to say after the show.
Okay, we're on the internet. Dan, are our roads going to consist only of driverless cars within the next 20 years? I've read about driverless cars. I don't understand them.
Well, let me blow your mind a little bit.
Yeah, please do.
There's the technology is already largely sorted. The flight hardware, the software, it's all sensing equipment. The issue will be getting it through. It's got to go through a lot of regulations. But imagine this. This is to tempt you with it. The self-parking automobile. You pull up to the mall, you get out of the car, you hit a button on your phone, the car drives off and parks itself, and then when you want it to come back, you hit the button, the car comes back. Auto valet.
James Bond had that.
Like that.
Did it really?
Yeah, James Bond had a car.
Well, we can all be James Bond one day. And
maybe it was Austin Powers.
And also, here's a beautiful thing. When you have cars cooperating, V-to-V communication, vehicle-to-vehicle communication, they can squadron together, they can platoon together on highways, reducing congestion, increasing the carrying capacity of highways, reducing fuel consumption, and that's the real. Oh, and by making them electronically crash-proof, they can be lighter, and so they can consume less fuel. So it's a cascade of virtues with autonomous cars.
And the left lane bandits can be forever consigned away?
Absolutely, you can blow them off if you like. With your Porsche, right?
Yeah.
All right, wait a minute.
Did I out you?
I'm sorry, did I out you?
What, you have a Porsche? I'm just finding this out. Okay, I mean, like, if a person runs out in front of this car, the car will know.
The car, generally speaking, the car will react much faster than a human can.
Faster than a human.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, most accidents are caused by driver error or driver misjudgment.
Sure.
This you could zero that out. And the technology is very robust. It will be.
And what year are we looking at to have this?
Well,
on the lot.
I drove a car this year that has many of the precursor systems. It has.
But that's your business. I mean,
well, you can buy this car in Beverly Hills. It's a lane keeping and distance following radar. It has a navigation system. It knows where it is at all times. Integrating these systems will not be a high technical threshold.
And the state of Nevada has already licensed those kinds of vehicles to operate on their state highways.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Will the Schumer-Rubio immigration bill, I didn't know that's what, I guess that's what it's called. Yeah, the immigration bill they passed in the Senate, will it pass in the House? How could it? John Boehner says he's not even going to bring it up for a vote.
They're not going to take up that specific bill, it doesn't sound like, but I think they are going to attempt some kind of Republican bill that will get through the House?
This is so what's wrong with our situation in this country. It's already such a Republican bill. It's already ridiculously cruel.
It's a lousy bill.
Ridiculously cruel to immigrants for no reason. The path to citizenship takes 13 years, and oh, by the way, we shoot you first. Because, well, there's...
Is that the Texas policy?
That's the Texas policy, absolutely. I mean, John McCain himself said, if you don't think this has enough border security in it, then border security really isn't what you're worried about. It's just to assuage racists, this bill.
Yeah. I think one of the big questions is, so there's been this trend in Washington in recent years where everybody loves to do these comprehensive bills, where you try to put in a thing that'll make you happy, and a thing that'll make you happy, and a thing that'll make you happy, and we package it into 1,000-page bill. And then we see if we can get it to pass. And so there's a lot for people to like in the Senate bill, but then once it makes it over to the House, people could find the things that they don't like. And the fact that it's that 1,000-page bill sometimes
What could they not
things.
like on the conservative side?
Pathway to citizenship.
What?
Pathway to citizenship.
There you go.
Limit. Wait.
That's it.
There are significant limits on high-tech.
That takes 13 years, it said. 13 years, the pathway.
There are significant limits on the number of high-tech immigrants that can come in from India and China who have engineering and scientific skills that we want to tap into.
Well, that's fiddling at the margins.
This bill places punitive limits on those kinds of things, and it ought to be...
I don't think that's the case at all. This is a bill that's supported by the tech community, by the Chamber of Commerce, by the AFL-CIO, by the evangelical community. That's like a weird cast of characters that all really like this bill.
Monument Communications has been in touch with people who are complaining in the high-tech community that this bill doesn't address their needs. But I want to mention a second thing, and that is, in more than a decade of working on the Hill, I've actually never seen a major landmark piece of legislation come from the Senate and just get a single up or down vote in the House. You always have the right to make your own
it gets
bill.
brought.
What's that?
It gets broad. John Boehner goes by
this
this.
is coming over. You can't stop that rule. That's just a regular rule. It comes over. The question is, what does the House pair it up with? And then you're going to go into negotiation.
Has there ever been a lamer speaker than John Boehner? I mean, this guy cannot.
You mean thinner?
He has a hard
John
You mean
Boehner.
thinner?
He does have a hard
job. Does
job.
anybody in Washington have a harder job than John Boehner?
I think he
feel-
does a
Obama.
great job.
I feel really sorry for John Boehner, too.
Obama has to deal with these mental midgets on a daily basis. So yes, I would say.
What I would say, and you challenged me on this. My feeling is that is because of the political gerrymandering in the House, they have created this group of just absolute troglodytes who won't vote for anything anyway. And so without them, you cannot achieve the Hastert threshold. And so nothing is getting done, no matter what it is. And the bill from the Senate, the immigration bill from the Senate, is a crappy bill. I hope they vote it down because we have to start over again. And it's only 11 million people. Why 40? You could give everybody $2,000 apiece to leave the country, and you'd still have plenty of change left over. I mean, it's only 11 million people.
Okay, Adrian, what is it about the documentary film medium that mobilizes people?
Well, I think it's only just beginning to. I mean, for so long it's been marginalized, and now, you know, people are starting to make more interesting documentaries, I think, more accessible to more people. So, and that's what we've been trying to do, is really get people excited, you know, not just the doc lovers, but everybody, mainstream.
Well, don't get your hopes up for an Oscar, because they're like so far behind in this category. Like anything that people actually see won't even get nominated. I know this because mine didn't, Michael Moore's didn't. Michael Moore's, the one he did, Capitalism, a Love Story, you know, didn't even get nominated because it's always about, you know, some, I don't know, some Latvian...
Well, you can settle for wealth and fame.
Yeah, so...
I should go back to that. I think, you know, maybe the Entourage movie.
Oh, the Entourage movie. Dan, is there any reason Tesla shouldn't be allowed to sell their cars directly to consumers, right? I hear they can't do that in Texas, the place that hates regulations.
Yeah, well, it's not just Texas. All 50 states have very protectionist franchise rules, and it's easy to understand.
And it's about the fact that Tesla has a business model where they don't sell directly through a dealer, right?
Right, that's right. The franchise rules in the states say you have to go through an authorized licensed third party. And this was a way to sort of protect their business. So you can't buy a car directly from General Motors or Ford. Tesla has a different business model, a different product, really. You know, an electric car doesn't need gas and oil and sort of the attentive service of a dealership, which is the putative reason why the franchise rules were written like that in the first place.
But Texas is supposed to be the state that hates regulation,
Right.
where you're freer than anybody else.
It's completely inconsistent.
That's why I think that eventually we're going to see this change, and Texas is probably going to be among the first. Part of what we're going to see in the 21st century is a change so that the kinds of things like cars, whether they're electric or otherwise, are going to be able to be purchased online the same way that you can do a washing machine or a television or anything. Texas is on the cutting edge of those kinds of things in other areas.
But as of now,
and they'll be behind if they don't change.
What
and
they're
I imagine
doing,
they will shift.
What they're doing is they're protecting needless middlemen, just like, you know,
The National Association of Dealers of America, that's right. They're
travel
very powerful.
agents is another one like that.
That's
you know,
right.
that, you know, you don't really need a lot of travel
That's
agents
right.
anymore. Sorry, travel agents, but you know.
But I think the
different
change
world.
is
Real
coming.
estate agents, you know, you can sell a house just to somebody without somebody in the middle, but they want to get their cut. So it's not really freedom.
I agree with you, but I think the change is coming because people can see they can do so many important things in other areas without a middleman. Why do they need one here?
Okay. Well, we don't need a middleman. We're going on vacation. Thank you, folks. Thank you, panel.
Real Time with Bill Maher, Friday night at 10. Ask Bill and his guests your questions right after the show at HBO.com.